Hi everyone, welcome to another morning of Thoughtful Movements movement lessons. This morning we're going to look at another kind of aspect of the movement of the ribs and the chest. And this movement, I don't know, it's something that I kind of have thought about and come up with over the last couple of days. So it could be an interesting experiment, it could be a failed experiment. So I'm kind of looking forward to test it out. I've kind of played with the movement myself a few times and found that it was useful in some way. So I'm kind of hopeful that it's useful to other people as well. So yeah, just again to just before we start the lesson, just to again articulate the my YouTube channel, which you can access via the link in the description. That's another way of catching these live videos, but it's also another way of watching replays. So if you go to that channel, if you hit like or subscribe on a video that you've watched, having more subscribers on that channel allows me to have like a custom URL. Instead of having like a string of random letters and numbers, I'd get like a YouTube/thoughtful movements, which would be useful for me. So if I'd really appreciate if anyone wants to head over there and just hit subscribe. So with that said, I'd like to begin the lesson. So for those of people that did yesterday's lesson, one of the things that we looked at was a kind of a mobility of the spine within a specific direction. I wonder if anyone had any experience kind of as the day went on, how their chest felt, if their chest felt a little different, if there was any sense of movement that was possible for you and freedom in your chest that wasn't there when we started the lesson. For myself, I definitely noticed a degree of flexibility develop, and hopefully this lesson will add to that. So the first thing I'd like you to do is, obviously as normal, just kind of come to a sitting position. Take a moment to allow your attention to drop back into yourself. So again, often our attention is outwards, caught up with the things that we're doing. So just taking a moment to kind of allow your attention to settle back on yourself. And maybe you notice certain things as you do that. You might notice, more information about your body. You might notice something about your breathing or how you're feeling today. And then as you sit there, as you pay attention to yourself, just kind of, I believe it's Wednesday today. I'd have to check. But just think through some of the stuff that we've done earlier in the week and certain aspects of it that have been useful to you or have helped you to soften your own chest, whether it was discovering the first rib, kind of softness, hovering ability of the shoulders, or yesterday's movement of this kind of subtle interplay between the two vertebrae and the rib. Good. And so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to demonstrate the lesson in a particularly useful way to people. So I'm going to have to describe it. So what I'd like you to do is just rest your this part of your palm just on your abdomen. This part of your palm on your abdomen. Sorry, I mean forearm. So the inside, we would call this in the Chinese systems the yin side, and this is the yang side. So the yin side of the forearm resting on the belly, and then the yang side of the forearm resting on the back. Okay, so you're going to need to find a comfortable position to sit in as you do this, and you've got your right hand or your right forearm resting on your abdomen and your left forearm resting on your lower back. Okay, and then just stay there for a moment, see how comfortable this is for your shoulders. The arm being behind the back is difficult for some people, so you might need to take rests as we do the lesson. So just be aware that, the backwards arm, you might need to rest it. And then what I'd like you to do is very gently just imagine that both arms are fully connected onto the body and that you can't really separate the arm. It's almost like they're stuck on in some way. And then what I'd like you to do is very gently pull the right arm. Pull the right arm over to the right. So the right elbow takes the body over to the right. Almost like you're leading a tiny little movement. If I stand up, maybe it's easier for you. So it's like I'm just gently pulling. So I'm sitting at that point and I'm just gently pulling my body over to the right. And this is really gentle. I'm not doing a big movement. But maybe what you notice as you take the right arm kind of connected to the body over to the right is that it encourages you to head in a specific direction. So the ribs are changing position, the spine's changing position. And maybe you even notice the weight shift or the change of weight on your pelvis. Good. And then take a little rest. If you need to bring your arms out, that's okay. Hi TC, hi Louise, thanks for tuning in. If anyone else wants to drop their name and where they're watching from in the chat, please do. When you're ready, bring your arms back into that same position. So the right arm is at the front of the body, the right forearm is connected to the abdomen, the left forearm, the yang side of the left forearm is connected to the back of the body. And then very gently begin to take the left arm to the left, feeling that you are connected with your back and the arm and that they're staying together, almost like they're glued together. And as you begin to head to the left, you can feel again this kind of change in the ribs, change in position of the ribs, change in position of the spine. And you might even again notice a weight shift, the movement of the body over to the left side of the pelvis. Hi, Julia. I wonder if you had some really great snow over the last couple of days in the Peak District. We had good snow in London, but I'm sure it was more impressive where you are. Good. Okay, so then as you've taken the left arm to the left a few times, noticing that you can kind of pull the body or draw the body over to the left, then take the body over to the right, and then to the left. And do this very slowly. See if you can breathe at the same time. Feel that your right arm could pull your body over to the right, and your left arm could pull your body over to the left. And you're kind of just doing this gentle pulling movement. One arm pulling and then the other arm pulling. And again, it's really useful to kind of monitor your breath. Good. Take your arms out, have a little rest. So hopefully what you can feel is this kind of like developing flexibility. And it's in this sort of side bending plane. Southern Oregon, great. I bet you had lots of snow as well. Great. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so let your arms rest for a moment. Maybe you feel kind of like the implications of that movement. Maybe that movement was unfamiliar to you, this kind of like moving the body side to side in this way. Sometimes this, it's like it really depends on what the spine is used to, but the spine might not be used to this side bending movement. Good. All right, so when you're ready, take your left hand, the inside or yin side of the left hand, place it on the abdomen, and take the outside or yang side of the right forearm and place it on the back of the body. And then very gently take your left hand. So you imagine that both hands are kind of glued onto the body, and then begin to draw or pull over your left the left arm. So in some way, it kind of encourages the body to come over to the left, and just do that movement a few times before you go over to the right. Take your body to the left. Imagine that you're kind of guiding the movement with your elbow, taking your elbow out to the left, and that's pulling your body just very gently. Encouraging your body to kind of come over to the left side. And you're just doing it from this place where your arm is connected. So it's going to have a very specific effect. And what you may notice is as you take your left elbow over to the left, more weight comes down into the left sitting bone. Okay. So if the left sitting bone is going down, the right sitting bone is going up. And you may also notice some extension in the left shoulder. So there's kind of like a diagonal line between the sides of the pelvis and the two shoulders. So just as you're doing this, think about the relationship between the pelvis on the right side and the shoulder on the left. Good. Bring your arms out, take a little rest. Just let your shoulders become comfortable again. And then when you're ready, same position, take your left forearm, place it on your abdomen, right forearm, place it on the lower back, and then very gently begin to draw your body over to the right, using your arm as a guide. Drawing your body over to the right, feeling this kind of gentle movement. You're staying connected to it. You kind of got your hands on your body. You're not doing more than is comfortable for you. You're just seeing like what movement is possible. How can I explore this movement in a way that's comfortable for me? So if you think about the direction of the right elbow, it's like the right elbow is pulling the body a little over to the right. And then very gently, just as you're doing it, think about the connection between the sort of opposite edges of the shoulders and the pelvis. So the left shoulder and the right side of the pelvis, and the right shoulder and the left side of the pelvis. What you may notice is that the pelvis on the left side and the right shoulder kind of are elongating away from each other in some way. Good. Once you've done it a few times to the right, with the backwards arm, the arm that's at the back of the body, just see if you can find a very gentle way of pulling your body over to the left, pulling your body over to the right. Using both arms, using the left arm to pull you over to the left, and the right arm to pull you over to the right. And really kind of take it easy. I was saying earlier in the week that this lesson is a bit more demanding, but it's kind of very subtle. But if the movement is unfamiliar to you, it's going to feel demanding. So it's really important to take it easy. Go at your pace. This is something that I can't see you, so you need to look after yourself. Pulling over to one side, pulling over to the other side. Good. If you can, move your arms slightly up your body. So I went from being resting on my abdomen to kind of my lower chest area. And then just see if you can kind of do the same thing, taking the left elbow over to the left and the right elbow to the right. Just feeling the influence on the middle of the body. It's like you're guiding the middle of the body over to the left, guiding the middle of the body over to the right. Good. Bring your arms down, take a rest. And this can feel a little constricting, having the arms in this position. So it's good to take a moment to rest, to feel the kind of comfort of the shoulders again, just as you rest in sitting. Okay, so then we'll take a little break from having the arms in that position. And what I'd like you to do is bring your right arm up and place the palm of your right hand on the area of the join between the cervical spine and the thoracic spine. So there's a little ridge there. And if I show you on the skeleton, this area in the spine here, between the cervical spine at the top and the thoracic spine that covers the ribs, if you just place your hand kind of covering this area here, and there is a little kind of ridge, you'll feel a little kind of sticking out of one of the vertebrae. So with your hand on this position, I'll just wait for my camera to focus again. Okay, it's trying. Okay, well, let's see if we can do that. I don't know, it's going to figure it out. So put your hand on this position and very gently take your right elbow up. Take your right elbow up, as if you kind of want to guide yourself up in this diagonal direction. Take the right elbow up and see again if you can leave your hand connected to your spine. So it's like the hand is actually glued. This is annoying me. Can I change that? No. Okay. Okay, and then very slowly, very gently, just take your body over in that diagonal direction. Maybe if I change. And you'll notice that you head over onto the weight onto one side of the body. Okay. You take the right elbow upwards in this diagonal direction to the right, and you notice that your body shifts weight to allow this movement so that your body is changing its position on the pelvis specifically, and your body is moving over to the right side. Good. So just do this movement a few times and kind of see, as we were doing earlier, if you can like use this structure to draw your spine over in this very specific way. Good. Take it easy. There's no hurry. There's no kind of impulse to do a big movement. It can be very small. Good. Bring your arm down and take a rest. So I'm sorry, my camera is not auto-focusing right now, which is a little frustrating. Let's see if it wants to play. No. Okay, never mind. All right, so, there we go. Autofocus, good stuff. So take the left palm, and bring it behind the back. And again, you may notice, so for me, it's a lot easier to put my right hand behind my back than it is my left hand. So I can feel a distinct difference in the comfort of this position with my right arm and this position with my left arm. So notice that for yourself, if there's any difference between the two. Have your palm very gently connected to this area of the spine that I was describing. And once you've done that, very gently, just begin to take your body over to the left. Very gently. As if you're kind of like pulling your body with your elbow and your arm structure. Pulling your body over to the left. Pulling your body over to the left. And notice how your weight shifts over to the left side of your pelvis. And maybe that allows the elbow to be freer and create more of this diagonal length. Just try it a few times. If you need to take a rest as you're doing it, please do. Good. Bring your arm down and rest. Okay, so again, just feel how you're resting, feel how you're sitting. When you're ready, take your left hand and place it behind your back. Take your right hand and put your palm on this part of the back of the neck where it joins in with the thoracic spine. Take your right elbow over to the right. And then as you come back, take your left hand over to the left. So now you're kind of seesawing between taking your right elbow up in the diagonal line and then taking the left elbow towards the left, taking your body towards the left. So it's a slightly different left and right movement than we were doing earlier, but just see if you can find a gentle way of doing this for yourself. And it's like you're guiding the middle of your body with your arms. Taking your right elbow up is like, it's almost like encouraging the body to do a certain movement. Taking the left elbow to the left, it's encouraging the body to do a certain movement. Good. Bring your arms down. I'm hoping this is clear for everyone. Good. When you're ready, take your left hand, place it behind your neck, at the point where the neck joins the thoracic spine. Take your right hand, put it behind your back. Very gently begin to do this movement where the left elbow goes towards the left, pulling the whole of the body over to the left. And then the right elbow goes towards the right, pulling the whole of the body towards the right. So you've kind of got this sort of like chest massage happening. As you're taking your elbow in different directions, the chest is being encouraged to move. And hopefully you can see on camera, if I kind of demonstrate a little, you can see this side bending happening. Good. Bring your arms out and take a rest. We don't need to do a lot of that. But just maybe you can notice if you shift your weight a little to the left, shift your weight a little to the right, how does that feel now? Does that feel smooth? Good. All right. So then one last thing. Take both of your hands, both of your palms, and bring them up behind your neck. Okay. Take your left elbow over to the left and then your right elbow over to the right. And just do this movement a few times. Very gently, very slowly. Keep breathing. So it's like you're guiding your body, you're leading your body with your elbows. My right elbow is leading, my left elbow is leading. And make it smaller, make it more gentle. Good. And when you're ready, bring your arms down. And just keep your eyes closed for a moment. Bring your attention to your breathing, how you're sitting. And this is a movement that, encourages the spine to move in specific ways. That obviously has a big influence on the chest and the ribs. And we may notice if the ribs are maybe too contracted, that this movement, it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't feel easy. But as the ribs begin to relax and soften, this movement becomes more smooth, this side bending, side bending. That's really what the ribs are possible, or they're capable of doing. They're capable of moving in all these different directions. Great. So I'd love to hear your feedback on the lesson. I hope it was clear. I hope the autofocus issue wasn't problematic for people in terms of watching. It seems like I've got a slight delay on my screen, but I hope that the sound quality was good. So please let me know. Hope you enjoyed it, and take that flexible chest and head out into your day and just see if at a certain point you want to stop, you want to breathe, you'd want to just weight shift a little to the left and a little to the right, just to kind of remind yourself of this new movement. Good. All right, great. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Again, just to publicize my YouTube channel, there's a link in the description. It's really great if I could get some more subscribers to that channel. That helps me in terms of having a custom URL for YouTube. Also, my Thoughtful Movements community group is linked in there. If anyone's in that group and they want to share that group with other people, you want to invite people, you're very welcome to. If you think other people might be interested in my lessons, please feel free to share them with them. That's also very helpful to me. And then lastly, there's a link in the description to my PayPal account. If anyone wants to make a small donation for the lessons, I'm very appreciative. So great. Thank you all for watching. I am teaching tomorrow's lesson is going to be looking at how the ribs can rotate. So that's something that's kind of leading on. We're doing kind of movement by movement in some way for the ribs. Thank you for watching. Thanks. I appreciate your attention. Hope you feel good afterwards. And I will see you back here tomorrow at 11. Okay, take care. Bye, everyone.